We are live from ASN Studios for this edition of the Ambassador Sports Network on Oakwood University's campus. My name is Shane Dunkley, and I'm going to be your host for this edition of the ASN. And we have a lot to get into, but first and foremost, I have to shout out my mom. You know, she turns, well, I can't say all that, but she turns another year older tomorrow on Saturday, the 20th, and just happy birthday, Mom. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're first going to talk about volleyball. Me, Cailyn, and Dalitso are going to get into the details about the games that were played, and we're going to break that down for y'all. We're also going to get into soccer interviews with Cailyn and Lisa. They're going to break down the women's soccer season, and Dalitso is going to break down what the men have going on for their season as well. And after all that, we're going to get into some NFL action. Top 10, is Jalen Hurts a top 10 NFL quarterback? You're going to get my opinion, Dalitso's opinion, Jonathan's opinion, and we're going to break that down for y'all. Without further ado, happy Friday. Thank y'all for joining us, and let's get right to it. The volleyball team has started this new season off on fire, especially this past week, going 2-1 versus the likes of all these schools that they played, especially D2 school Tuskegee, where they nearly won, so really could have made it 3-0. What is your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 that the Ambassadors can get their first tournament win in team history this season? I'm going to start with you, Cailyn.
I am at a 7. I feel like this team has the potential to be great. My concern with this team is, are they going to be able to pull through? Because we've seen in past games, they've gotten really, really close to winning, but they haven't been able to pull out the W. The difference between this team and the past teams that I've saw, this team is running a 6-2. And the past, they've done a 5-1. And with a 5-1, it's really hard because the setter is running around everywhere and really gets burnt out faster. And with a 6-2, you have 2 setters. And it makes it easier because you're not always running around as much. You get opportunities to hit, you get opportunities to pass. And to me, it looks like a 6-2 is working much better for this team. Also, I talked to some of the teammates, and they were telling me that this team's team chemistry is a lot better than they have been in the past. And I can see that. They're definitely communicating, but what I would like to see is more communication. We're losing the ball, and we're making a lot of mistakes that don't need to be made. Serves, you've got to be consistent with your serves. At this point, if you want to win a tournament game, you shouldn't be missing serves. 2, the miscommunication with balls dropping. Balls should not be dropping in front of people because they're not communicating. So I would just like to see improvements in those areas.
Right, Dalitso, what are your confidence levels?
I loved Cailyn's analysis of that. A 7, though, I don't know if I really agree with that. You said 1 through 10, right? That was the scale of what I think. I gotta put it at a 12. My confidence level is through the roof. It's still early in the season, 5-3 overall. 3-1 in conference games. That's big. We're second in our division in the conference. But I'm going to be real here. The volleyball players can't say this. Cailyn might not say this. Shane might not say this. But we're good in the conference. We don't have anything to worry about in the conference.
Yes.
I'm still mad about that loss to Miles. Next time we see Miles, the Ambassador girls are going to beat them. Trust me. But we swept Wilberforce 3-0 September 14th at the beginning of the week. Lost 3-2 to Tuskegee on Wednesday. And then swept Rush 3-0 on Thursday. I learned a lot about that loss from Tuskegee, though. That's a D2 team, like how you said, Shane. Cailyn, you don't know this, but Shane, he shot me a text as he pulling up to the game. He took a picture of the bus and said, Michigan versus Appalachian State. And it was funny. It was like, a big D2 school coming down to Oakwood University, our little HBCU. No, the girls went down 2-0, and we were PA announcing. I'm like, maybe Tuskegee's just overmatching us. The girls could have rolled over. They could have quit.
I was going to say, the thing that I loved about that game, I was worried. I'm not going to lie. First 2 sets, you lose. It's really, really hard to come back from losing 2 straight sets. And they came back and tied up the game, and we could have won that game.
They did and went to the 5th match. Like you said, in that 3rd set, backs against the wall, the Ambassador girls came out and won 25-23. Then in the fourth set, Kamaria Murray, boy, she came out serving on a heater. 11. The Oakwood Ambassadors opened the game up 11-1. A 10-point lead in the volleyball game, you better win that game, and that's exactly what they did. But I saw determination, real fight, something that I do not see from many Oakwood soccer teams. You're going to touch about it later with the soccer team. We don't see that a lot. But from this volleyball team, I saw something. I saw a spark and I saw a fire. Despite losing in the fifth set to Tuskegee and losing the match 3-2, I learned a lot from that loss, and I've learned in any of our previous wins. Shane, what do you got to say?
Yeah, Dali. So as far as 1 through 10 goes, I have to give this team an 8, a little bit over Cailyn. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this team an 8 strictly because of our competition. You know, we play in the NAIA conference, and you know, no disrespect to who we play, Russ College, Wilberforce,
Talladega. Like I said, we're good in the conference.
We're good in the NAIA.
That's what I'm saying, not the girls though.
Right, and yeah. So another thing that I have seen, you know, especially comparing it to what we've seen in the scrimmage versus Calhoun Community College, the team has vastly improved.
Yeah.
You know, they could turn it on whenever they want to, right? Especially, you know, for example, with this Tuskegee game, down 2-0, down 2-0 because first 1 to 3 wins, right?
Right.
So very hard to come back in that, but despite all the odds, they came back and were actually up 7-2 in that final game.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, Tuskegee, you know, credited them. They called a timeout. Coach got them right. Coach yelled at them a little bit. Got them right.
That was a real timeout. I'm talking about they walked over to the left corner of the gym.
And the other team, they were shaken up. I was looking at, we were sitting right there while
Behind
they were
the score
passing,
table.
and they were scared.
They didn't
to
know
lose.
what hit them. Tuskegee came in and they thought it was going to be an easy
They
game.
thought it was gonna be a
D2
sweep.
School, small Oakwood. They came in thinking they're going to sweep us. And quite frankly, I thought they were going to sweep us. They went up 2-0.
Not around here.
But Oakwood, them Ambassadors fought. And look, this cannot go without being talked about. Alexis Wiley, Maya Beasley, and Cameron Buckner. The dirty work they were doing must be acknowledged. 31 combined assists and 47 combined digs in that match versus Tuskegee. They were diving when the games got close. They're diving on the ground. I'm talking about the ball's going into the stands, and Cameron Buckner's about to dive into the ground, dive into the stands for the ball. She didn't, you know, trying to stay healthy. But still, that's the type of effort and intensity we saw. Tuskegee relaxed, and we ramped up the intensity. And shout out to that Oakwood Ambassadors crowd, man.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some real stadium posts back there. Like Cailyn said, we were behind the scores table. The Tuskegee coach was scared. She's talking to the refs. Oh, please, can you tell the fans and the parents to stop talking to me?
Right.
This and that. No, Ambassador fans, we love that energy. Keep that going. Other teams need to come in here and fear us. They need to be scared and rattled. They should not feel comfortable when they come into Ashley Auditorium.
Yeah.
So hats off to you guys.
Right, and I can't, you know, leave off this segment without mentioning Kamari Murray with 14 kills in this game.
Right.
Sophomore Kamari Murray. Senior Cameron Buckner with 16 assists. And as a team, the Ambassadors racked up 34 kills as a whole.
I would like to add, shout out to Kamaria Murray. Those blocks, she did outstanding that game. I was super, super proud. And I'm looking forward to see how this team is going to only continue to grow, because this is still the first half of the season. They have so much more games to learn from, so much more improvement, and they're only going to get better as a team. So I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out.
I'm excited as well, and like you said, Kamaria Murray, Harmony Banks, a sophomore on the team. She's new to Oakwood. She's coming in right there on that line, middle blocking with Kamaria. So this team has a lot of firepower, and more than anything, aggressiveness, effort, communication. Those are the biggest things that you're going to hear a lot throughout this episode, and that's exactly what the Oakwood volleyball team showed against Tuskegee. And I don't even need to talk about Wilberforce and Russ. 3-0 sweeps. Cakewalks.
Yeah.
And make that 3. I am excited to see what this team has in store for the remainder of the season. And without further ado, we're going to go to our soccer segment with Cailyn's Corner to sit down with Lisa, you know, to talk about the state of the women's soccer team.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cailyn's Corner, where we get the behind the scenes of the athletes and what goes on with the team. Today I have a very special guest with me.
Hi, my name is Lisa Faith-Dieujuste.
So just to get to know you a little bit better, What made you want to play soccer at Oakwood University, and how would you describe your role on the team?
So right now my role is captain. So it's to help the new players get adjusted to being on the soccer team and helping with the sportsmanship.
Yeah. So after your first 2 games, you guys had some tough losses. How was it coming back from those games, and what did you learn from those games to be able to improve?
It was definitely difficult because we did lose 2 games in a row, but just having a lot of, just being positive and just believing in ourselves and in our practice, we were able to, bounce back and just hope for better.
Love that. In those games, you guys didn't really get possession of the ball much. What are you guys doing to improve offense and possession?
Right now, we are practicing a lot of our ball control, which is a main factor in playing soccer.
Yeah.
So, practicing ball control. I would say, yeah.
Okay. So, as captain, I'm sure you hear a lot about how the team is feeling behind the scenes. How would you describe how the girls are doing mentally after your first few games, and also you as well?
I would say the girls weren't too excited that we lost, but over time, I feel like we should be good, or we'll definitely improve later on. So we just started playing. Yeah. This is our second game.
It's still early in the season, so you guys definitely have time to turn it around.
Yeah, we have time to improve. We've been practicing every day, so that will definitely show in our later games.
That's really, really good to hear. So my last question to you is, what would you like to say to all of the fans who are supporting you this season?
I would say, don't give up on the Oakwood soccer team. Like, we're doing our best. A lot of the girls are still new to the sport, so they're still trying to adjust to being a college and being a student athlete. So, just don't give up on us. We're trying, and yeah.
That's perfect. Well, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we'll see you guys next time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cailyn and Lisa, for that inside look on the women's soccer team. And now we will go down to Dalitso to the fields to see what the men's soccer team is up to.
Thank you, Shane. Coming off of a 19-0 loss versus Blue Mountain College in their last game, the Ambassadors have been using the last 2 weeks to regroup. And for those of you who are wondering, can the soccer team come back from this? Well, I've talked to a lot of players over the last 2 weeks, and the main points of emphasis they've been telling me is that the team needs to focus on listening intentionally to the coaches. Effort, communication, and aggressiveness have to drastically improve in order for the team to start yielding some positive results. Looking ahead to Monday's game, this will be the first time the team will have their full coaching staff at their disposal, as well as a bunch of players coming back from injuries, so the team won't have to play out of position anymore. The team cannot afford to play selfishly, as that creates holes in the defense, resulting in the opponent scoring a lot of goals. The Ambassadors have been working very hard and are very excited for Monday's away game versus the Mississippi University for women, in hopes of picking up the first win of the season. Back to you guys.
Mr. Kulameka, thank you for that breakdown. Really just an inside look of the anatomy of the men's soccer team. Obviously, with that loss to Blue Mountain and just the doom and gloom, really bestowed upon our season. I feel like this team needs to change the narratives. And not only the team, but the fans need to change the narratives, because we've been harping on this team pretty much since the season started. So, guys, it's not easy playing D1 sport or D division, college sports at any level, so let's get off their backs with that. But I got no doubt in my mind, if these guys don't give up, I can see them really improving and turning the tables with Coach Kaba and that staff. Without further ado, let's throw it to the NFL segment of this show, determining, is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback, or if he isn't. Former Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl runner-up, Jalen Hurts, all the accolades, went to a national championship, won a national championship. I mean, that's all the evidence you need, right? Is he a top 10 quarterback?
It's been a rough start to the season, man. I'll get right into the question. It's so tricky. When you look at Jalen Hurts, he has all the intangibles that a top 10, top 5 quarterback would have. He wins. Amazing leadership. Amazing quotes. Dare I say, he has aura. All the top 10 quarterbacks have aura. They have those things in intangibles. But then when you look at on the field, Jalen Hurts, what are we talking about? His on-the-field stats do not fit the billing of a top 10 quarterback. You look at how he started the season. He started the season no passing touchdowns all year. Against the Cowboys and the Chiefs in 2 games he's played. 19 for 23, 152 yards. And then 15 for 22, 101 yards. 0 passing touchdowns. I used to be a part of the camp that would say Jalen Hurts is the top 5 quarterback after he went to the second Super Bowl, after he went to the first Super Bowl versus the Chiefs and lost. Played amazing in that game, however. Then he went to the Super Bowl again and won. I'm like, hey, Jalen Hurts, he just might be a top 5 quarterback. I had him up there with the good ones. Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen. That's in no order, by the way. But I had Jalen Hurts right there at 5. But when I look at it now, I can't put him in. I got to put him, for sake of the argument, I'm putting him at 10. So to answer the question, is he a top 10 quarterback? Yes. Is he anywhere above that 10 spot? No.
Better than Daniel Jones?
What are we talking about here?
I mean,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if we're going off the season, if we're going off strictly this season, we're talking. He's not better than Daniel Jones.
He's not.
I mean, if we're going off the 2 games, you're taking Jalen Hurts over Daniel Jones.
Yes,
No.
Yes, I am.
That's just.
Because after 2 games, you have 15 more. You're
It's
still
true.
taking Daniel Jones over
But if we're
Jalen
talking about
for the last 15 games.
But the argument
season
is,
But the argument, but we're having this conversation 2 games in.
because he played
So
that
it's like,
poor.
that's not
Yeah.
fair. If he's played that good, then he's better than him in these 2 games.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we having a convo if we're just talking about 15? No, we're not talking about 15 games later. No, we're talking about now.
What they're telling me is Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in the NFL.
No,
I mean,
no.
as of 2 week sample size, he's a top 10 NFL
That's what they
quarterback.
say.
Like if we're like in a 2 game sample size, Patrick Mahomes is over 2, but I bet you'll take Patrick Mahomes over Jalen Hurts.
And I'll take him over
Because-
Daniel Jones.
Yes.
Well, based off of this 2 game sample, Daniel Jones
has
is better
performed better than
Patrick-
Jalen Hurts. So in that case,
You know.
he's in the top 10 over Jalen Hurts.
and Patrick Mahomes too.
Yes,
because
agreed.
when you look at the reasons of why I don't and you probably don't have Jalen Hurts in the top 10, it's just productivity. Like he's barely thrown for 100 yards in each game, 0 passing touchdowns, best offense in the NFL, best O-line, best running back, MVP Saquon Barkley should have been, last year.
Right.
He's KD on the Warriors, except he doesn't have that KD skill
Yeah,
set.
that's a good example. That's a good example. He is KD on the Warriors. He doesn't have the same skill set, but he's literally on a stacked team, and he's producing no passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
How are you doing that? And yes, we're not saying. I think we're getting we're saying right now. With my top 10 list, I had
Daniel Jones got to be in there.
Yeah, he is in there.
Yeah.
He is
He's
in there.
in mine, too.
Off the 2 games,
Yeah.
are we?
Yes,
Is this
bro.
even a question?
Does last season not exist?
No, that's what I'm
No.
saying. That's what I'm saying. We're getting confused. I was just about to say we're getting confused on using last season of right now. Is the conversation last season or right now in these 2
Last
games?
season factors into right now.
No, I don't think he does.
So
I don't think
won
he
a
does.
Super
by you guys' logic, you guys are saying Daniel Jones is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL
As of right now,
Like he doesn't have
he
a whole
is.
career behind him.
As of right
but
now,
if we're
he
talking
is.
off the 2
All of
games,
that because he played 2 games. The 2020.
I think.
Derek Carr was the best quarterback in the league last
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Wait, you said what?
Yes, and
Wait,
those
I missed it, my bad.
that 2 game sample size, Derek Carr was the best quarterback in the NFL at the time.
Right.
But I also dare ask this question: replace Jalen Hurts with any top 15 quarterback, with Daniel Jones to be exact.
But yes, if we're going, of course, I thought we were going off of the 2 game sample size.
Yes.
2 game sample size. This is clear that he's not top 10,
Yes. And
in my opinion. But if we're going, of course, Yes, considering last season, yes, Daniel Jones is nothing compared to Jalen Hurts. That's without a doubt. But I'm thinking we're going off of the 2-game sample size. He hasn't shown to us that he can lead. Well, he's leading the team, but like, bro, he's managing the game. Like they tush pushed freaking. They tush pushed 8 times this season in 2 games span, and 7 times against the Chiefs.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm gonna say we're taking get back to the convo, but we'll get into the later. Whatever.
I'll say this: will it get better? It won't. And let me explain why. Jalen Hurts, and I know I said the 2-game sample
It will,
size,
in my opinion. Yes,
it'll get better. I have to go back to when he was a rookie. And, you know, what's his name? Carson Wentz got benched and, you know, that whole situation. Look at the Eagles, 2017. Carson Wentz was on an MVP tear. If he didn't tear his ACL, he wouldn't have won MVP, whatever, right? Nick Foles came in, you know, we know what happened, beat my Falcons, destroyed the Vikings, you know, and what did he pull up, like 400 yards in the Super Bowl? Like one of the best games of all time. And why did that happen? Because the players around him, Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, that O-line, Jay Ajayi, you know, that Eagles defense, it was insane. And not taking any credit away from Nick Foles, but that's why he won that Super Bowl. Look at last year. The Eagles, in my opinion, were the best team. That was the best team, NFL team
100%.
Look at that.
Oh, wait, of all time?
Of all time. No. Stay with me now. Look at the defense. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Slade.
So you're saying the guy who was quarterbacking the best team of all time, according to you, is not a top 10 quarterback?
Because he got carried by the people around him. Outside of the quarterback, and let me clarify, outside of the quarterback position, that was the best NFL team of all time.
Look. I'll name you 9 quarterbacks you have to put above Jalen Hurts, and we can debate the 10th.
Of course.
Stop me when I'm wrong.
Wait,
no order.
All time, right? Like
a
couple seasons, right?
Yeah, the past couple seasons.
Okay,
we have
I'm
to take
just
that
making
into account. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson. And Joe Burrow. Those 4 are undebatable. There's no debate with them. And then we got to go look at other players. Matthew Stafford. Dak Prescott. He receives a lot of hate, but all he does is produce.
Yeah.
And the defense is horrible over there. He's still producing. Jared Goff. I'm a big Goff guy.
Yeah.
And what he done in Detroit elevated that offense. That's 7 right there. And then we go look at Justin Herbert. One can't deny the talent. Sling the ball anywhere, make any throw in the book.
Yeah.
The playoff success is not there, but he's that. And then Baker Mayfield. All he does is go into Tampa Bay last season, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns.
Right.
Those 9 QBs right there, better than Jalen Hurts, no debate about it.
Of course.
But then you start looking at guys like Jaden Daniels. He had a great rookie year, no doubt about it. But we said the same thing about C.J. Stroud, and he tailed off a little bit since then. C.J. Stroud, another guy, like I said, great rookie season, tailed off since then. Then you look at dudes like Jordan Love, had great flashes in his career. Need to see a little bit more consistency. So when you look at guys like that, Brock Purdy, he got the best argument out of all that group besides Jaden Daniels because he had such a great rookie year. I just need to see a little more. Brock Purdy, he's been to Super Bowls. He's carried the team. He was in Jalen Hurts' position where they said the team was carrying him. The weapons started to dwindle. Brock Purdy still produced. Jalen Hurts, I'm putting him above Brock Purdy just because I like what he does for the Eagles more. So when I look at all those quarterbacks right there, Geno Smith, sorry, Geno. Nah. You got to redeem yourself.
Is he top 25? Okay, get back where you said.
But like, when you look at that, there's no way you can look at those guys and tell me that Jalen Hurts is not the 10th best quarterback.
No, but
if you say 11th, you put Brock Purdy, you put Jaden Daniels over him, I would agree.
But you kind of just added more ammo to my flame, though. Like I totally forgot about Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels, all these.
Jared Goff was above him.
Yeah, exactly.
9 quarterbacks.
But then, looking at Shane's list he has right
Daniel
here.
Jones.
It looks like he's going. No. This is where the misunderstanding is because I'm thinking we're coming into this conversation saying off of these 2 games why he's not top 10. Of course. Yes, leading up the seasons prior, it's like yes, without a doubt, he's
we
top
have to
10.
take in a full body of work.
Right.
If we come here off of 2 games,
but that's what we're going off of. These 2 games been played.
But he's also coming off of a Super Bowl win.
But
if we go off of 2 games, the Chiefs are the worst team in the NFL, right there with the Dolphins.
No.
If we go off of 2 games, why are we going off of 2 games? If we go up here on 2 games, then
that's just not the facts.
That's horrible arguments.
But why were the Eagles Super Bowl champions last year? It wasn't because of Hurts. When people look at the Eagles and look at that Super Bowl, Hurts is probably the 5th player that people think about when they mention that team. Just being honest.
No, they instantly think about Jalen Hurts. Let's be honest, bro.
You know, he's a TMZ star, the media, the poster, or whatever, right? But when you look at actual ball knowers that look at the football side of things and look at the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is maybe the 6th best player on the Eagles.
I came in here thinking we was all going to be on the same page. Jalen Hurts right outside the top 10, but I still haven't heard it. So where do you have Jalen Hurts in your top 10?
I think 10. I had him at 10, really the 10, 11 spot with Joe Burrow. No order. No, actually we go Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
You said Josh Allen twice.
Sorry, Joe Burrow I meant to say. Then we go into Justin Herbert. Now this is where it gets blurry. Jared Goff, my bad, and Matthew Stafford. Baker Mayfield, and then probably Jalen Hurts right there. Yeah. But
so at the 10, Shane. If I hear Daniel Jones one more time,
that's of course. Go ahead.
10, bro? So we can close.
Let's make it quick. Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow, number 4, Baker Mayfield, number 5, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes. Even though Mahomes is slipping out of my top 10, you know, but we'll just keep him in there, whatever, right? Number 7, Justin Herbert. 8, you know, the corpse of Aaron Rodgers. He's showing me something. He's moving me, so got to keep him at 8. Number 9, Matthew Stafford. He is alive, folks. You know, first and foremost, he's alive and well, and he's doing his thing for the LA Rams. And that number 10, Danny Dons, baby. What they call him? Indiana Jones. My boy Indiana Jones.
They do call him Indiana Jones.
Hey man, we gonna see in about 10 weeks. We gonna see. But
go ahead.
Thank y'all.
I wish we could keep this episode going, but it's all about the Ambassador Sports Network.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day. I got all day.
I don't want.
Well, you're lucky we couldn't even get to the tush push because y'all Philly fans, y'all are getting a bailout right now.
Cheese steaks, man. That's cheese.
I don't want to
gosh.
Yeah, but thank y'all for joining us on this edition of the Ambassador Sports Network. We had some fun today, guys. I know I did.
So did.
Stay tuned for Sunday, and love y'all. Go Ambassadors.
Thank you for watching the Ambassador Sports Network. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tap that bell so you're notified every time we post.